I want to talk about something else. I mentioned 2020. So in one of our podcasts, we talked about if some disaster happened. I think it was like the zombie apocalypse or whatever. Like, what would we do? You know, that kind of thing. Or I'm not sure if it was just like any kind of disaster type of thing. Like, what would we do as humans? You
Yeah.
know, like, would we panic? Like, what would happen? And that was in 2019, or early 2019, when we had this podcast. It's
Yeah.
out there. I forgot which one it was.
It's on YouTube. It's one without a video.
Yeah. And then the pandemic happened, and we got to see
The zombie
the
apocalypse.
we got to see the panic, and people panicked and bought toilet paper
Yes.
and paper towels,
Well,
which forced others to go out and buy toilet paper and paper towels because we were running out. So we don't want to be out of toilet paper or paper towels. So we got to go out there and get it because all these other people are out there getting it. That was crazy.
it was a chain reaction of ass wipery.
I don't understand how we thought that was the way to go. I mean, the water and the food, yeah.
Yeah.
But toilet paper, that was the first thing to go. And the people that were selling the cleaning products, like overpriced, that was
Purell.
crazy.
Even the
Pieces
TP.
of shit.
That's
Like,
why I was
who
glad.
does that?
Well, that's why I was glad when the stores got got hip to it,
That's
and was
disgusting.
like, you can't return it.
Yeah.
You got to keep it now.
Yeah.
So if you can't sell it, that's
Good
on
luck.
you.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Ugh. What is wrong with humans?
They were doing that. People were doing that with like the 20, 30, 40 pound bags of rice. And then they realized that they didn't need to do that. And then they tried to give it back. And the store's just like, that's yours. You took that home. It left the store.
And the other thing was, remember that people stopped drinking Coronas because it was called the coronavirus.
I know
What?
Mr. Corona. was
What?
Pissed.
Really?
I got all this beer and I can't
I
get
can't,
it
I don't
off.
understand like how people actually thought this. And
Well-
then the vaccine came along.
Wait.
Okay.
Before you get to the
All right.
vaccine. But I mean, come on, people remember what people were doing for masks. People
Yeah.
were putting all kinds
Buckets,
of shit. Buckets,
creating their own.
sponges,
Yeah.
tampons.
Yeah. Yeah, tampons, the old
Yeah,
Old
everybody's
couple.
seen that meme.
yeah.
Yeah, what a dude had a banana peel.
Yep. Yeah. A water gallon
Yeah.
over their head.
Yeah,
Underwear.
I do give them this. It was creative.
It was creative, but it's just,
It was idiotic.
I mean,
You were better off without it.
okay, that's, you know what? I give them a fucking pass. The ones I don't give a pass to are the people that did that shit with the toilet paper and the fucking paper towels.
They must burn.
Yes. No passes here. You get no pass.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And then, okay, so I can assess some things sometimes, and I thought to myself, I need to go to the supermarket and I need to go buy food. So I told him, I'm going to go to the supermarket and I'm going to buy extra food, not just the regular stuff, like normal. And I spent, about $300 on a lot of food. And when I got there, it wasn't all these people and it wasn't crazy or anything, but when I was leaving, I could start seeing people pull in, and like the
Toilet
supermarket
paper.
was at this point getting really packed. So I barely made it through everyone showing up.
Yeah.
Like, I got there before all of that happened because everything was still on the
In
shelves.
front of the bubble.
Yeah. And it was raining, and I walk out to the car and I'm putting everything in the car, and the eggs fall to the ground. And I was like, no.
My eggs. What am I gonna do about my
eggs, all my eggs were gone. I was like, damn it. Okay, I'll go tomorrow. Shit. The next day, I tell David, let's go to the supermarket and get eggs because we haven't looked at the news, no social media, nothing. It's first thing in the morning. I tell him I want to make breakfast. So he's like, sure, all right, let's go. And we get to the store and there's absolutely nothing on the shelves. They're all bare. And I was
Cleaned
just
out.
like, what the fuck happened?
We went to 5 stores, and that's not including the little mom and pop little corner markets
Wiped out. Everyone was wiped out.
for everything.
Yeah. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like I barely made it.
Are the
And-
zombies here?
right? I barely made it. I got everything that I needed and I bought a bunch of fucking canned food, water, the necessities, things we may need to survive.
for
Not
toilet
toilet
paper.
paper or paper towels. I did not buy any of that. I was given that. I had a friend give it to me, but yeah.
Now we know in the next apocalypse, we gotta make sure toilet paper
Re-up.
and paper towels are on the top of the list.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Fucking
I don't need
crazy.
food,
So
I don't
that's
need
what we
water.
did when, as human beings, we panicked and we bought TP and paper towels.
Yeah, like that's gonna save you.
Yep. that's what happened. So
and
our
pissed off
question
Mr.
was
Corona.
answered. So then I want to go down to when everybody was like, "Oh, the vaccine is coming. The vaccine.
Winter is
the
coming.
vaccine."
Winter is coming.
Oh my god. They were all just like, "Are you going to get it? Are you going to get it?" Everybody's like, "Are you getting it? Are you getting?" And then when you got it,
I got it.
Did you get it?
I got it.
You got it?
You didn't get it?
You
I
ain't,
got
you
it.
ain't gotten it yet?
When you
Oh,
going?
when you going? What's happening with that? So
Hey, remember-
you're gonna have to wear a mask because you are potentially
You're infected.
yeah. And my thing is the people who are masked up should be okay versus you who does not want to wear a mask. And you're breathing the same air that this person is breathing, which is how this stupid BS happened, I guess, whatever. And it was it was crazy how people who were unvaccinated got treated by people who were vaccinated, who were out. The vaccinated were exposing themselves and getting sick. And the people who, and I'm not going to say all of them, people who were masked though were less likely to be sick and or not vaccinated wearing their mask. But I felt like that was such bullshit. I felt like it was really discrimination, against people who chose not to get vaccinated. That's their choice. And how are they the bad people here? How are they the infected when you guys are out here not wearing a mask thinking that the vaccine was a cure? For those people who did think that,
But it became the real life game of amongst us,
yeah.
the vaccinated and the
Yeah.
non-vaccinated, and then the ones that were on the fence.
Yeah.
And then it was funny when like all these vaccines come out, right? You had 3 different vaccines, and then like you started hearing about people having issues with the vaccines. I had a friend that took a vaccine, and then next thing you know, that the same day he took it, the same day they talked about we have to stop giving this vaccine because people had some issues with it, so we're gonna stop it for now while we double check our numbers, and then we'll resume after we clear it that this was just an anomalous activity.
Yeah.
And then that went on for what, a year, 2 years.
Yeah,
Vaxxed
you
or
couldn't
not
go to a
vaxxed?
You couldn't go to a restaurant.
Show me your papers.
Yeah, show me your fucking papers. Do you belong here? And
Couldn't
that
take a flight.
and that was crazy. I just found that crazy. I will be honest with you, even though we were going through a pandemic and a hard time, I did enjoy the outside restaurants.
Yeah, I did.
Really did. It was really nice sitting outside eating a fucking steak and lobster.
Except for that time where we went to that one restaurant that I will not name them, and they put us directly in the sun.
Oh yeah.
on one of the hottest days of the summer of in California, Southern
Yeah.
California,
And we tried to get them to like move the little umbrella, and he's like, "We can't." I'm like,
and the sun was just beaming,
just give me
beaming,
the check.
beaming.
We
It
gotta
was like the
go.
longer we sat there, the hotter it got. It was
Yeah.
like
It was
by the time we
bullshit.
left, we were sizzled.
Sizzle.
But I did like that. I did like, you know what I did like, really like? During the pandemic when it first started, since everyone was home, streets were clear. There was
Yes.
no traffic.
That was great.
We live in Southern California, so traffic is
Traffic.
horrendous,
Always.
and it was no traffic. It was like you could drive from San Fernando Valley
Yeah.
all the way down to LA or downtown LA in the actual amount of time that Google Maps says it's going to take to
Yeah.
get there.
The normal time. The normal time, not the traffic time.
20
The
minutes and
normal
you're
time.
there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's
That
like
was crazy. We made it to Inglewood from here. From
in 15
here.
minutes.
Yeah. No, 20. It was 20
Yeah.
minutes.
San Fernando
And
Valley to Inglewood, 20
yeah.
minutes. No traffic.
Yep.
It was like 5 cars.
Yeah. And there were no cop cars because I go to work early, and it's still dark when I'm driving into work. And I, at that point, everybody was being sent home. I was one of those people who stayed in the office, and I would go, and there was absolutely no cars on the road on my way into work, and there was like a trickle on the way back home, and I loved it because there was like no traffic. I don't work that far, so it's
still,
still
though.
it's still a nice little drive, but it's on the street, and I don't have to take the freeway. He does. But yeah, it was wonderful. I loved it, and I love going to stores and no one's there, and I'm just like, yes, like
Well,
it was great.
for
That
me,
that was great.
for me, it was like,
I'm sorry for all the people that suffered through that, though.
yeah.
Like honestly, it people did suffer. We know people who suffered and passed away from it, and it's not a joke.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that because of what
These are the
was,
lighter sides of
yeah,
what we went through.
exactly, the circumstances. We had to live through that, and everybody lived through that in their own way. And
There is two things that happen. I don't mean to cut you
Yeah,
off,
go
but there's
ahead.
two things that happen in a pandemic that I do appreciate. One of those things where it showed employers that some of these people can work from home.
yeah,
And I don't see, I get why some employers don't want people to work from home because they're
I
scared that
just
they're
made
going to
all
milk
these
the
fucking
cops.
faces.
Because they're gonna milk the clock. I get that as an employer, but at the same time, some of these jobs, for some of these people, it's beneficial for them to work from home versus.
Yeah, I get that.
The other thing was that I liked was because I have a commute that usually takes an hour and a half, taking it in 20 minutes was so stress less of a commute
Yeah.
that by the time I get to work and pull up in a parking lot, I'm not sitting in there like that meme with Matthew McConaughey where he's crying. 35 more years of work. So yeah, I did enjoy that. And the return trip home,
Yeah.
20 minutes is
Yeah.
like it was great.
It was great.
What I didn't like is all the extra stuff that we have to do with it. You know,
And now nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives
Yeah.
a fuck that this shit it's over, and they declared it over. But so, and then now people are sick, and they don't care.
Oh, because
Nobody
now it's
cares.
back to-
it's
it's
like
just a
back.
cold.
Yeah, it's just a cold. Oh, it's not COVID. It's just a cold. But where did the cold go?
it went on vacation
Right? Just like the regular flu.
and flu went on vacation. Flu and cold.
But
went on
now all of
vacation
a sudden
together.
it's back, and COVID's just like dissipated.
It went
and
on
then
vacation.
I heard the other day that there's a new strain. I mean, I think that there's going to be strains of strains of strains
Forever.
because that's just what happens. I think the only reason we're hearing about it is because a pandemic happened. So now they're actually telling you what it is.
Yeah.
Before it was like, it's just a flu. They're not really telling you other than it being SARS or some shit.
It's not a variant of the flu. It's still got regular flu, but it's a
Now
variant
they're
of it.
telling you,
Yeah.
oh, it's, Omegatron this. But you get what I'm saying? Like,
That's
they're
the other
just
funny thing that happened. Was all the variant names.
it's all these different variants that they're naming now because I think they have to. I don't know if they do, but it seems that way. They're Omicron and
58.
like what is it? Omicron Persei.
Yeah.
Drama. But yeah, when I heard that, that's the first thing I thought about. They said Omicron. I was like, Persei.
It's here. Where are they?
But yeah, so I lost my train of thought.
I like
Oh, the
when
variants, the
yeah,
variants.
and I like when they called it the Omarion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, they
memes
call
were great. The memes were
COVID
great.
is because it's coronavirus, it's the Rona.
Yeah.
Omicron,
It's a
Omarion.
variant.
It's a variant. And
B2K.
but I think it's because that's what they have to do now.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if they have to, but it seems that way because all of a sudden you're telling us what it is, and I didn't hear that before. And we had the coronavirus before, but it was a different variant,
It was
and
called the flu.
it was called the flu, but there's different kinds and it evolves, and apparently this one's smart and
Yeah,
come on.
It's from Persei.
I'm telling you.